Behuchotai Teleichu. I'm going to walk in my rules. Ve'mitzvotai tishmeru. And you're going to guard my mitzvot, my commandments. Ve'asitem otam, you're going to do them. So then what happens? I will give rain when it's time, and the land will give the produce. And the tree of the field will put its fruit. You have all the blessing, and have peace in the land. No wild animal will be in the land, no sword will go through you. You and your enemies, and one of you would chase away 5 and 100. 5 will chase away 100, and 100 will chase away 10,000. The enemies will fall in front of you with the sword, and I'll turn myself to you, and I'll fruitful you, and I'll multiply you, and I'll fulfill my covenant with you. And it goes on and on. But it says Ve'im, this is verse 14. So we have 14 verses. It talks about that we follow Hashem's rules. We follow Hashem's rules. Hashem's rules, the heat wave is coming out. If you follow Hashem's rules, so you have all those things. But verse 14 says, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to do all those mitzvahs. Behuchotai also, you're going to be disgusted with my rules. My laws, you're going to get disgusted. The word tigal means something against magil, they say it's like the word more than disgusting. It gets what? Nauseated. Levilti asot kol mitzvah, not to do all my mitzvahs, etc. I'll do whatever. Then you have all those not blessings that Hashem. So, what is all about? So Rashi explains, if you're going to walk in my rules, I would say walking in my rules, it's another poetic way of saying, you're going to guard my mitzvahs, and you should you're going to do the mitzvahs. Mitzvahs and rules is all the same, it's just different names of mitzvahs. When it says later on in the verse, my mitzvahs you're going to guard, so we know it means mitzvahs. So the Torah doesn't say in the poetic words the same thing twice. There's all chazal. It's a medrash of Torah's Quran. Ha-mani mekayim. In what way I fulfill these words? In Behuchotai Telech, going to walk in my rules. Shetiyu ameilim batoim. You have to work hard, toil in the Torah. And what does it mean, mitzotai tishmoihu? Toil in the Torah, Rashi says, in order to guard and to fulfill the mitzvot. So now the opposite. If you're not going to listen to me, you're not going to do all my mitzvahs, and you're going to be disgusted from my rules, it's just the opposite. So we see if you don't toil in Torah, and then you're going to be disgusted. I want to explain this concept, which is why there's one way and the other. Why is there's no two ways? Or you have a meilus in Torah, toil in Torah, or the Torah becomes disgusting. The Gemara says, those that are mel b'Torah, so that the Torah becomes samachayim. You know what the word samachayim means? Sam means, no sam. Sam means, what does sam mean?
Like a potion. Poison. Drug.
Drugs. If you toil and toil, then it becomes drugs of life. And if you don't toil and toil, then it becomes, meaning those that learn Torah are weak, like left-handy. It's not with all the strength. It becomes a drug of death. I want to explain this concept. Why is it like that? Torah has a lot of rules and regulations, and not a lot of do, don't do, a lot of do's and not do, a lot of restrictions. So a person can be comfortable with a lot of do's and not do's just by being custom. He's born religious, and it's been custom always to do A and B and D. But when he comes to a situation that he's not accustomed with, and he has to follow the Torah, then he feels being choked. He feels that it takes away from his freedom. You know, most of a person is born not religious, and he doesn't have the custom. He doesn't have the. It is not regular to do mitzvot, to do the do's and the not do's. So then, definitely, he feels restricted and choked by following the mitzvot if he doesn't have the heart with it. But if your heart is with the Torah mitzvahs, with Hashem, so all the do's and not do's becomes a merit, becomes a zechus, a merit, something you want to do. It's happy, it's not heavy. A person that has in his home a few kids, little kids, and needs to bring money, he has to marry off his kids, he has to produce money. He has a need, has nowhere to sleep. So now he's sleeping in the street, in the park for a couple of days. He barely sleeps, he has pain in his back. He sleeps on rocks, on earth. It's cold, it's hot, no air conditioning, no heating, who knows what. Somebody gives him a job, and that will give him a shelter or a job in a shelter. He will do the job with a broken heart, or he feels like nothing to pick up things, run up and down, no problem. Because the goal, where he wants to get to with the job is just a means to get what he wants to get to. So then the job is not heavy for him. Doesn't feel any heavy. He's happy to do it. Yeshiva Yitzchak used to say, Rabbi Scheinberg's father, in the days of the Depression, used to work in a sweatshop. The iron clothing, the small little cellar, he used to sweat like a machine in the summer. And he used to come home, he had to change all his clothing from sweat. He was all happy. He says, wow, I have a job. I can bring food to my children, I can keep Torah and mitzvah, I don't have to work on Shabbos. No problem, he's happy. At least he has a job. So the goal makes the walking through easy. So if I'm learning Torah in order to connect to Hashem, so then all the rules, chukot, what is chukot? Chukot are gzeiras melech, the decree of the Torah, which has no understanding. Don't eat chazer, milk and meat, shatnez. She'umas ha'olam moinim aleim. The goyim press us, give us pain. What are you doing those crazy things? So how Chazal know Behuchosai telechu means amelus b'Torah? Just say, if you follow the rules of the Torah, this mitzvahs means commandments, which makes sense. And the mishpatim are monetary rules. And there is chukot, which are decrees of the Torah. There's all commandments of Hashem, but there's different level of commandment. Commandment with understanding. There's mishpatim, which is monetary rules, laws. And there is chukim, dry laws, for no reason. Paraduma, the red heifer, chok, a rule. How does Chazal know that Behuchotai telechu means not a name in the species of mitzvot. Rather, the Behuchotai means to have toil in Torah. A general point of being toil in Torah. Which according to Rashi, according to Chazal, this is an essential part for us to get all the blessings. And if we don't toil in Torah, then everything else happens. You get all the curses. And the Torah tells us. If you don't toil in Torah, what happens? You're going to be disgusted from the Torah. You're going to be nigal. You're going to be, nigal? Repulsed from the mitzvahs. You have to do them. So it's black and white. There's no middle ground. I used to say when I was a child that a modern Orthodox, when America they say they're conservatives, even though modern Orthodox are Orthodox, the idea, the concept, is to be in both worlds. You know, I'm in the both world. I'm not in the fantasy, how do you call it, pre-modern days. I'm a modern guy. I have internet, television. I'm a modern guy. I go to movies. I go to dancing or to bars, and I go and I pray 3 times a day. I do Kiddush and Shabbos. I'm a colorful Jew. Hippie. So when it comes to the point that he has to destroy his desires, he starts breaking away from it. And not only that, a person like that sees an Orthodox Jew, ultra-Orthodox Jew, his heart fills with hatred. And I was myself, I always said it in public, when I was 13, 14 years old. My father was religious, he trained to be religious. So I used to have a neighbor, he used to have a television. Those were colored television, 1980. Wow. We used to hide and sneak and go to the house to watch television. And when I used to see religious people black and white, I used to feel choked from them, hatred. Because in my mind, it represented me that they're taking away my desire, my freedom. Soon I went to Yeshiva Katana, high school. They told me 8th grade. I went to Yeshiva Katana. I started loving the Orthodox Jews. I'm going to work on Yeshiva Katana. I said, opposite. This is crazy. Look at the power of Torah. I experienced it myself. It's real. If a person doesn't toil and toil, what's toiling in the Torah means? That he's learning the Torah in order to walk to get somewhere, to get connecting to Hashem. So all the means and ways that he had to go through, it's nothing. It's because he's following the goal. He has no problem in the restrictions, because all the restrictions are ways to help him to get this goal. Elevates it to get this goal to connect to Hashem. So then the Torah becomes, he loves the Torah. He has love to Hashem, because the more you put into Hashem, the more you get connected, you have more love. The more you give, the more you love. But when you don't toil in Torah, you don't walk in the table with a goal, so then all the do's and not do's become a strain. It chokes you. So then what happens? You become disgusted. Tim osu. Tigal nafshecha, the Torah says. The Torah becomes, the mitzvah becomes disgusting. Ligael, makil, they say in Hebrew. That's those words. There's no 2 ways. There's no 2 ways. And it all starts with a men's hotel. If I see a boy in Yeshiva, and he's learning where all his energy is all shining and learning, and then I see him in a down day, doesn't get up for shachris, he comes late a little bit, it's a little bit weak. I'm very worried for him. Why I'm so worried for him? Let the guy free and relax. Why I'm so worried? Because that beginning of being lazy and not be connected to the Torah with all your energy can lead to all what the Torah says, I'm not going to say, the non-blessings of the Torah. You can become a hatred. That guy can become a mumar, he become a mumar, a rebellious against the Torah, and he hates the Torah and the learners of the Torah. That's the 2 opposites you can come to. Give me a break, I want to relax a little bit. Okay, there's time to relax. It will actually buy them hope to continue to serve Hashem with all the energy. But there's no, when I'm learning all my eyes, I'm learning now my free time, I don't have God there. There's always Hashem. There's always, I'm walking towards Hashem. There's no in between. And the resting is for the goal to go back and to toil with all your energy. I made it up there to go more to Hashem. There's no in between. There's no 50-50, wishy-washy, comme ci, comme ça, modern Orthodox. Modern Orthodox. No, Orthodox and modern are two different things. I made it up there. You have to put all your heart with Hashem. It's not a dream. Hashem is not a dream. Hashem is the true reality. You can never run away. It's as if you say, it's 1 minute I open the television, I'm in a fantasy. Second later, I'm in reality. There's always a true reality. You can never run away from Hashem. And you have to, in your heart, you have to really understand that there's no way to remove yourself from Hashem. You have to make a decision. Where am I? I'm with Hashem or not? A lot of people tell me, listen, Rabbi, I love the Torah, but I can't make the jump. I know Hashem is true. I know it's all true. But I can't break away from my physical desires. I'm holding on to the dream. I know it's a dream. I know it's fantasy. I cannot break away. I'm holding on to it. I can't break away. True reality. So what is the answer? The answer for this guy is to open the Mussar Sefer, Mussar book, and learn what is the person's goal. To clarify again and again, very clear, that every person dies, and what's the purpose in our world is to come and to worship Hashem in this world, and all this world as a poisdoi, as a hall to get to the tragit. It's a walking way to get to the hall, toilo mabo. And when a person is focused and understanding where is he at, he has no choice just to leave away his physical desires. No choice. Like a person is old, let's say he's above 70, 80 years old, and they take him to the hospital and he's sick and he barely moves and walks. So he can't dream anymore about all his desires. I remember one time, there was a guy in Yeshiva who told me that what made him to do tshuva. He says, I was in Thailand and I saw a man 90 years old. 90 years old, maybe 80 something, very close to 90. And he went to a discotheque or something, and he's watching those young women, who knows what. He's taking pills to have energy that he wants to do an Aveh, but he can't. He's thinking to himself, what? This guy's an old man. It means in his mind he could never leave his true reality that an old man cannot do anything of those things. So he's thought to himself, I'm the same guy. I'm already 34 years old. What am I doing here? I'm a Jew. I have to let go. I have to understand what's the goal of life. He made an hekesh, a dinyo. And he shook his heart. And he went to the synagogue there and he started to the If a person, the Torah grabs what the Mishnah says, Mashchel lebeis hamedrash, im poga b'chamenuval zeh, the menuval. What is menuval? You know what menuval means? A dirty. What? Plastic. That's in Yiddish. Yeah. In English, I don't know. You met the wrong guy, the bad guy who's the Yitzchak. Pull him to the medrash. Put him to earning. Why? Because the medrash is a true reality. In Yeshiva, you have the true reality of Hashem. You go out to put you in imagination, an illusion, a world of imagination. So how do you get rid of the imagination? You have to pull yourself to the stage. Pull yourself, get out of bed and get to the stage. Even you don't want to word. I'm not going to. I want to be the Besmedrash. Once you got to the Besmedrash, you open the sink, talks about doing Mabo. You see people standing there learning and putting the light. You don't do nothing, just running the door all day, and that's where they put the light to Hashem. You wake up to the true reality. Obviously, the person has to take care of his physical needs. You have to get married, you have to work, you have to make money, whatever is needed. But a Besmedrash is a place where you can anchor and you can refocus where is the true point of life. Some people are zoichet to be all their life in a Besmedrash. They have to marry. Some people have a few years. Some people have all their life, but part of the day. Whatever you zoichet, you have to do your true reality. You have to relate. You can't be in the dream world. Yeshiva cannot be a place where you run away from your reality and in the dream world you don't take responsibilities. You have children, you have a wife, you have to support them. If you can't do that. But a yeshiva is a place where you connect, you walk. Behuchotai, you're walking towards the goal. You're walking to where you walk into Lamah. It's a place to remind you where you go, where you need to go. So if you do that, your Amelus Batoino, you get all the blessings. But if you weaken with Amelus Batoino, so then you become disgusted and all that, and then you get all the curses of your person, the non-blessings of the Torah. When they call somebody up for the Torah tomorrow, a lot of people are afraid to go up and be in a part of the Torah which talks about all the non-blessings of the Parashat. The Ma'ariv, and because it was Makpi, people used to go up and they used to Makpi. So a lot of communities, they don't call someone Yamoy. They tell him before. And when the Teicholo comes in, he goes up and he says. But some Achronim will just the opposite. The opposite should brings down the Machlokes. The Aderab, it says, who's the God of Teicholo? Because when you get a rebuke, you want to change. Or Havo Shicharon Mussar, if you love someone, you get up early morning, you tell him Mussar. You're not going to. Yankel, get up. I want to tell you something. You open the door. What do you want to tell me? I want to tell you that I love you. You know, you are bum. Yesterday you hurt this guy. That's the loving. If you love, that's what Shlomo HaMelech says. Or Avo, if you love someone, Shicharo, you get up early morning on Shachis, and you get up and you tell him off to change it. That's when you love a person. So Adarab is the opposite. Going up for the Torah and the Teichova, it's a mile. You should run, you should pay extra money to get the aliyah of the Teichova tomorrow. Because you want to change. You want to hear the Torah, you want to change. When you go up to the Torah, it relates to you. You read the Torah as Hashem's words coming, that's to penetrate you. But when it trick. There's a lot of Teichova, a lot of rebuke. But a rebuke means Hashem loves us, He cares for us. If He doesn't care, He don't talk us all those rebukes, all those curses. It means He loves us. He wants to change us. He wants to tell us how severe is not doing our job in this world and not meriting the endless love and goodness and reward that Hashem has for us. So if we understand that, is that our Parashat we can change. To put all our energy now in few days, we talk about now we're 34 in Oman. 34 in Oman. It's 16 days. What? 16 days from now is Shavuos. It's 2 weeks and 2 days. And 2 weeks and 2 days is Shavuos. Sunday, going to Shabbos, Sunday 2 weeks from now is Shavuos. It's not far away. 16 days. It's brought down in the Medrash. The Ran brings on this Medrash in the end of Masechet Menachot that the original reason why we count 50 days, because when the Jewish people left Egypt on the first night of the 15th of Nisan, and they're being told that they're going out to the desert to receive the Torah, and Pharaoh is being told in 3 days he's going to come back, but they knew the truth, that they're going to receive the Torah in the desert. So they counted every day. 1 day, 2 days. They want to get to those 15 days when we read the Torah. So they're looking over, they're preparing themselves to get the Torah. The Mishnah in Masechet Ova says, how a person can receive the Torah. So it says there's 49 kinyanim. You know what the word kinyanim means? Acquisition. To receive Torah, you have to acquire it. There's an acquisition. The most essential quality to acquire Torah is Amelus Batoino. What does Amelus mean? Toil. Work hard and toil. That's the way you acquire toil. You eat bread, you sleep on the floor, all those things are a way to toil. There's a list. We have to toil. You cannot acquire the Torah without toiling, getting rid of all your desires and focus and put all your energy to get your goal to connect to Hashem. And learn the Torah. The Torah itself it's the word of Hashem. You want to connect to the word of Hashem. There's no other way. There's no other way. You want to acquire it, you want to connect. So every day, in those 49 days, another way to acquire it. What is your new chidush today to acquire the Torah in 2019, Erev Shabbos, Parashat Behuchosai? What is your new pa'ula you're going to do? We'll prepare yourself for Shabbos. Come back, there's a long Shabbos, it's very hot outside. This finish is cool, there's air conditioning. Come and learn Torah. Prepare Shlomo Gatan, we'll go over what you learned during the week. We summarize in handwriting all the sugi that we learned. We finished the sugi, now we start a new sugi. Did you summarize the sugi? You did. Davi, you did. Moshe, you did. Did you do? You have to. Nachman, you did. That's totally important. Summarize what you get energy to hold on to it, to acquire it, to be part of that. Summarize in the handwriting. I want to see if you should come over to me and show me the notebook. What they summarize. What they did. Yoshua, the Ram, the Behuchosai. They all review all that. Rashi, Tosfot. We'll be learning for days. We'll be learning all those 2-3 weeks. How did you prepare yourself? This is the new acquired today. To summarize. You have a Friday. There's no classes. It's not a free day. It's a free day for you to grab and connect Hashem on your own and your own decision, and your time. You have Shabbos to review. You have a long way to Shabbos. That shows where are you. Where are you? Who you are. You are made of the Torah means you walk, you understand the Torah is not a strain. The Torah is a privilege. Something I want to get to, I'm excited about. We're just sitting in the Yeshiva and the Torah just passes by. Okay, you sit in the Yeshiva because you don't want to be outside. You know the guy, I don't know, shit, you have a place to sleep, you have a place to eat, breathe, water, no room and food. Oh, I want to add Torah a little bit. I want to be around Torah. I absorb a little bit some words of the Torah. Or read the Torah, I'm all excited. I want the Torah to be part of it. I want to hold on to it. I want to summarize it. I want it to be in my hand. You review your Mikiyas. You guys know your Mikiyas, tiniest. It's like a Sochim from Mikiyas. You review it. Pages you know that you have in your hand. Review it, know it. Hold on to the Torah. The Kinyan. Kinyan means to acquire. That's what it means in the Behuchosai today. When the chukot, when the rules of the Torah you're walking through, every day in Mechadesh, the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, Rabbi Orach Chaim, he wrote 42 different explanations of this verse. This verse alone. He has maybe 5-6 pages here. And he explains what does it mean, even because it has 42 people. What does it mean to walk in Torah, to be taught in Torah? Very deep. Unbelievable. Very famous. 42 is a very famous story about it. Whatever it is. It's not the time. Maybe a day of Shabbos. I the story. Hashem put this parasha